Hello, today we're going to be reading Trev and the Kauri Tree. See if you can decide what story this one is very much like from a common fairy tale. All right. Trev and his mother were finding things tough. Though careful with money, there wasn't enough. Trev saw the look in his mom's worried eyes. We've no cash for bills or for grocery supplies. I have a solution I know you won't like. I'm so sorry, Trev, but we must sell your bike. Next morning, Trev rode to the market in town. He hung up his sign and sat himself down. Make me an offer in great condition. Aha, said a voice. I've got a grand proposition. Give me your bike and I'll trade you these seeds. They'll solve all your problems and meet all your needs. What happened next has no reason or rhyme. 'Twas one of those brilliant ideas at the time, for Trev was left standing with seeds in his hand. His prized bike had vanished, and so had the man. When Trev told his mom of his ludicrous sale, she threw up her arms and let out a wail. Give me a break, Trev. You knew we were skint. You've really stuffed up with this scatterbrained stint. And snatching the seeds, she threw them outside, then marched to the kitchen, all teary-eyed. Waking next morning, Trev rubbed at his eyes. The view through his window was such a surprise. A Kauri had grown in the dark of the night. Its trunk was so tall it stretched out of sight. Trev threw on his clothes and hurried to see this sky-scraping, super spectacular tree. He couldn't resist it. He started to climb higher and higher, one branch at a time. What mist swirled and swooshed round an eerie dark cave. It was spooky and scary, but Trev was really brave. Tiptoeing forward, he entered the gloom, finding himself in a musty, damp room. There at a table, a fierce taniwha, counting the greenstone he kept in a jar. He suddenly stopped and sniffed at the air. Then in a terrible voice he declared, Yum, yum, what's that pong? Something here does not belong. Catch him, nibble him, bit by bit, fling him in the hungy pit. The taniwha rose and slowly he turned. His mouth dripped saliva, his fierce red eyes burned. Trev was no match for this horrible brute, but he was quick and daring to boot. He shot to the table and scooped up the stones, ignoring the taniwha's blood-curdling groans. He slipped through the chair legs and out of the cave, dashed to the Kauri. Oh, what a close shave. He shimmied on down till at last, safe and sound, he slumped with his back to the tree on the ground. Dinner that night was giddy and glad. The greenstone on trade me was selling like mad. In a few days, Trev couldn't refrain from climbing the Kauri tree once again. Up to the cave he climbed limb by limb and sneakily, cheekily, quickly crept in. A brown box was placed on the taniwha's chair. Trev had a squiz to see what was there. A little brown kiwi, and what do you know? A freshly laid egg with a bright golden glow. Then there came a rumble and steps, thump, 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 and an ear-piercing bellow making Trev jump. Yum, yum, what's that pong? Something here does not belong. Catch him, nibble him bit by bit, fling him in the hungy pit. Into the room the taniwha crashed, his tail swinging wildly as onward he smashed. This was no time to be mucking about. Trev grabbed the box and was homeward bound. Down the trunk of the Kauri he slipped and he slid, hitting the ground with an almighty skid. Dinner that night was giggly and fun, with stories of what they could do with their money. Trev should have known to quit while ahead, should have listened to Mom when she wisely said, Leave it alone, Trev, we're set up for life. Don't you go climbing and get into strife. But one day while Mom was out shopping and such, the lure of the Kauri proved way too much. He came to the cave, the door was ajar. From within came the sounds of a funky guitar. A-ching, a-chink went the catchy curse drum. When it came to guitars, this was second to none. Trev pushed the door open and peered in the room. He gasped in surprise at the source of the tune, a magic guitar that played all on its own, just what we need for our evenings at home. Trev grabbed the guitar and made for the door, only to hear a murderous roar. Yum, yum, what's that pong? Something here does not belong. Catch him, nibble him bit by bit, fling him in the hongy pit. The Taniwha was now completely enraged, snorting and snarling as he rampaged. His tongue darted wildly, his sharp teeth gnashed, as off to the treetop Trev madly dashed. On his back he could feel the Taniwha's breath. Should have listened to Mum, thought Trev, scared to death. He knew his advantage was that he was small and could slide down the tree, no worries at all. Flinging himself at the Kauri's long trunk, he slithered and slid till he landed kerplunk. Up in the Kauri, the Taniwha rumbled, as down through the branches he clumsily tumbled. Trev grabbed an axe and started to chop. Mum came out running now home from the shop. What the heck, she exclaimed. Then with horror she spied the terrible beast on his rip-roaring slide. She ran to the shed, got the chainsaw out quick, pulled at the cord, and it buzzed in a tick. Mum sawed away for all she was worth. With a deafening crash, the tree fell to earth. Like a gigantic mouth, the ground opened wide, and the Kauri and Taniwha vanished inside. Dinner that night was a chatty affair, with Trev telling tales of the Taniwha's lair, and all of the happenings so strange and bizarre, while a ching and a chink went the background guitar. If you like that one, there'll be more coming, and they're part of the Kiwi Corkers, Great New Zealand Yarns. And this one was by Chris Gurney, and the pictures were by Dave Gunson. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.